Jacqueline Jossa and Dan Osborne have been pictured for the first time on their wedding day, which Jack said made her feel like she'd fallen in love all over again. The EastEnders star and former Tory hunk Dan tied the knot on Saturday the 24th of June after a 2-year engagement, and Jacqueline wore a beautiful white lace dress with a sweeping skirt. The floor-length gown featured scalloped lace up to her collarbone and long sleeves made of delicate white lace, while the fitted corset skimmed her tiny waist and was tied with a silver-grey sash that matched Dan's tie perfectly. Jacqueline, 24, carried a bouquet of cream and pale blue flowers, including nigella, better known as love in a mist, which symbolizes the chains that bind people together, either through love or something more bitter. She wore her long brunette locks up in a soft updo with tendrils framing her pretty face. A long white veil was pinned to her hair as she walked down the aisle to greet her groom. Dan and Jack, who are parents to little daughter Ella, were joined by Jack's soap co-stars, including Adam Woodyat, who plays Ian Beale, and Lorna Fitzgerald, Abby Branning. Speaking about their big day, Jacqueline told this week's OK! magazine, "It feels like we've fallen in love all over again." She said that her natural makeup made her feel like she was wearing a Snapchat filter on the big day, adding, "Daniel always says he prefers my hair up and out of my face, although that wasn't the reason I wore it that way. The dress had to be seen in all its glory." The mum of one joked that her guests had been well briefed on what they could and couldn't wear, saying, "I said beforehand that if anyone wears white they were going to get kicked out." Dan added, "Jacqueline's the woman I want to spend my whole life with. She already felt like my wife, so it made complete sense to make her my wife." OK! magazine is out now. The two tied the knot in front of their many friends and family at a beautiful mansion in Cheshire. They wed in a quiet ceremony at Delamere Manor in Cuddington, a picturesque village located between Manchester and Chester in the countryside. The luxurious 100-acre setting was once owned by Take That's Gary Barlow, who lived there for 10 years before selling it on to its current owners. It has space for up to 300 guests among its manicured gardens, luxe bedroom suites and private nightclub, which occupies the space formerly taken up by Gary's recording studio. The bride and groom have been dating since 2013, going public at the TV Choice Awards in September, and announced they were expecting their first child together, Dan's second, in August 2014. In February the following year, little Ella was born, a baby sister for Dan's son Teddy from a previous relationship. The two then announced their engagement in June 2015, while on a family holiday to Greece to celebrate Jacqueline's older sister's wedding. She said, "Yes. I'm the luckiest man in the world to be marrying the woman of my dreams." At Jacqueline Jossa, Dan tweeted at the time to break the happy news. It transpired that the reality star had got down on bended knee in front of 40 of Jack's friends and family at the resort and popped the question with a diamond ring, which the Enders star proudly showed off in pictures. Dan had also arranged for a boat bearing a banner saying "Will you marry me?" to sail surreptitiously into the background so he could ask her the pertinent question. "I wanted to do it in front of Jack's friends and family because I know how much they mean to her," he later told Now magazine. "I told Jacqueline's sister, Katrina, to ask for a group picture so that everyone had their backs to the water so they couldn't see the boat coming closer and closer, and then Katrina had to pass the ring behind her back to me. I said, 'Oh, look at that boat,' and when Jacqueline turned round, I was down on one knee with a ring." The two had planned to marry in 2016, but as time went by they realized there was a lot more to do, so they postponed their nuptials until this year. Speaking to OK! magazine last year, Jacqueline revealed that they were stuck on a venue and hadn't found anything they liked. "I thought we had ages to get stuff sorted, then all of a sudden it was March and we didn't have anything booked," she said. "We've not found a venue that's perfect for us yet. We want to wait and find somewhere that we love. It was a bit of a shame as we were looking forward to it." It was later heavily rumored that the pair had fallen in love with Delamere Manor, even though holding their wedding there would mean both of their families having to travel up north to celebrate. All along their wedding planning process, both Jack and Dan kept the exact details under wraps, but did hint to OK Magazine that there would be a pastel color scheme, fun food stands scattered around, and that Jacqueline's ideal dress is A-line with lace. They didn't even give away the date of the big day, although Dan hinted on Valentine's Day that it would take place within the next few months, and the speculation ramped up in May when Jack was pictured letting her hair down on her hen-do. Jacqueline, who plays Lauren Branning in EastEnders, was joined by her best pals for the fun-looking bachelorette party wearing a pretty white playsuit and bridal veil. Leaving toddler daughter Ella at home, Jack celebrated in style and sipped on cocktails while the group had dinner in a club. Later she wore a white veil over her long chestnut locks and posed for cheeky photos with a fake moustache and bride-themed glasses on sticks. Among the hens there on the night was her fellow EastEnders actor Shaheen Jaffarghali, who plays Shakil Kazemi in the BBC soap. Blonde Tilly Keeper, who plays Louise Mitchell, was also there to support her friend, and in one picture with her Jacqueline captioned it with a love heart emoji. And Jasmine Armfield, Bex Fowler, joined the hens wearing a skin-tight khaki green halter-neck dress. But fans were surprised not to see Jack's other EastEnders co-star Lorna Fitzgerald in any of her pictures from the night, with one asking, "Aren't you supposed to be good friends with her? Was looking forward to seeing photos of you both." It was thought Jacqueline would wear a wedding gown by Suzanne Neville on the big day, after she was spotted in the designer's bridal shop in April. Looking happy and relaxed as she listened to an assistant inside the Knightsbridge boutique, Jack wore a long nude-toned coat and carried an oversized burgundy bag. Suzanne has previously dressed celebrity brides Christine Bleakley, Heidi Range, Katherine Jenkins, Victoria Pendleton, Holly Willoughby's sister Kelly, Kirsty Gallagher, and Kai Marsh.